Hey there, it's time for another simple and healthy mama recipe. Why the cheesy voiceover, you ask? Well, if you have little ones at home, you already know the answer to that. My kids were home, and quiet kids is an oxymoron, much like sleeping baby or postpartum bladder control. Now, get ready, because we hacked the Wendy's Frosty. We did. So now you can make delicious, chocolatey, creamy, yet nutritious faux frosties at home. I guess it's technically a mock frosty, but I like alliteration, so faux frosty. I have to give my husband credit for perfecting this recipe, and thanks for the many, many faux frosties he's made our family. That's him right there. Isn't he cute? And our son looks exactly like him, so now I have two. Now, let's look at the ingredients you will need. I've linked everything below in case you aren't familiar with anything or just want to order it online. I've also offered options so you can make it vegan, soy-free, nut-free, gluten-free, or allergy-friendly as needed for your family or friends. I chose this mixed nut butter from Costco today. I often use peanut butter and then throw in some of the things that are already in this mixed nut butter, like chia seeds or flaxseed meal for added healthy fats, fiber, and protein. Use what you have on hand first, but if you are buying for optimal nutrition, natural nut butter with no ingredients other than nuts and salt is what you want. Avoid added sugar and palm oil, which is terrible for you and the environment. This sun butter is a great allergy-friendly option as it promises to be free from the top 8 food allergens. I bought a 2-pound bag of unsweetened cocoa powder and am refilling this jar with it. There is also cacao powder, which I will try after this runs out because it is actually more nutritious because it's the raw version. In a pinch, use fresh bananas and add some ice. If you plan ahead, peel and freeze bananas at least a day in advance. You can use these nanaRacks to avoid freezer burn and a blob of frozen smushed bananas. This video is not sponsored, by the way, but my hubby does work with the inventor of these handy puppies. You also need a couple dates. You can buy them pitted or not, but be sure you remove the pits if they don't say pitted. You will need pure vanilla extract. Lastly, you need some type of milk. If it's a non-dairy milk, look for unsweetened. Most of the plant-based milks are naturally sweet, and you'll be sweetening your Frosty with dates anyway. You can make this in a smoothie cup or a good blender. You're going to start with your dates. If you don't have a high power blender, try soaking the dates overnight or for 10 minutes in boiling water to soften them. I use 1 or 2 dates for this recipe, depending on their size. Medjool tend to be bigger and only require 1, but these are Deglet Noir, and I'm going to toss in 2. Okay, tossing isn't going well today. I'm such a dork. All right, so now we're going to get our cocoa or cacao powder. I don't tend to measure when I cook, but I've included approximate measurements below for your benefit. Obviously, this means you can also adjust things in this recipe to taste. Keep in mind that your cocoa or cacao powder will have caffeine in it, just like any chocolate, so you might not want to serve this later in the day. It could jeep up any little humans you give it to. Then I'm going to put in a teaspoon of the pure vanilla extract. Next up, you're going to do the nut butter or sun butter of your choice. I'm going to use 1 blob. Just kidding. About 2 tablespoons. Depending on what your family's taste and allergies are, you can use any nut butter or sun butter here. All right, then you're going to do about 1.5 bananas, but I basically just stuff the cup full. I'm trying to be ladylike here and not use my fingers, but I usually just grab a banana, rip it in thirds, and cram it in there. Thirds tend to blend more easily than the halves. Lastly, you'll add the milk of your choice. I've got my almond milk here. Oops, I didn't measure for you. But it's about a cup, I think. Basically, if you can't get it to blend, add a little more milk until you have the right consistency. Then you're going to blend all this together. Even with our high-powered Ninja, I have to stop and shake it up a bit to get everything blended together. This doesn't happen if I use the big pitcher and make a big batch, but for today, I'll just stop and shake it as needed until it looks pretty smooth. While I'm finishing this up, please take a moment, help me out, and like this video below. Unlike most things in life, it is free to like my video. This recipe makes a regular appearance at afternoon snack or on the weekends for us. I just wish I had this recipe when I was pregnant and nothing sounded good. I bet I could have choked down a few hundred of these. Plus, I was getting pretty sick of eating dates after having read one lone small study about women having shorter labors if they ate a lot of dates during their pregnancy. Yep, I was willing to try anything after my first effort at giving birth ran into overtime. But no, it didn't seem to have the desired outcome. Time to try it. Oh, mamas, this is so good. You really need to start making these. One last optional thing, whipped cream. I don't usually use whipped cream actually, but we had some left from the holidays that someone brought, so I decided to be a little bit naughty. You do you. All right, thanks for watching. If you'd like to see more of my videos, be sure to subscribe below and let me know in the comments if you try this recipe, which you should. Now, I'm off to make another smoothie for my kids because this one was supposed to be for them.